Tim and I kept coming back to Brian. I know he has some big shoes to fill. Coach Carl did some amazing things for this franchise, and I want to thank him one last time before we turn the page into the Brian Shaw era of the Denver Nuggets. You know, there's a process to winning at the highest level, and I think that Brian's championship experience as both a player and a coach are going to be invaluable to our roster. I'm really excited to see what he can do. That being said, I'll turn it over to Tim for a few quick words, and then into Brian.
I think, as Josh mentioned, it was an enjoyable process getting to talk to some of the bright basketball minds. I kind of joined the process late, and a name I've always kind of admired from afar has been Brian. We have a million of the same friends, and it's kind of funny over the course of the conversation how much we kind of know about each other without really having a relationship. There's not many guys who break in the league with Larry Bird and Kevin McHale, play with Kobe Bryant, and work with Phil Jackson, and have the championship pedigree that he has. So it's we're unbelievably fortunate to have a guy of his caliber leading our team, and I can't wait. I'm excited, and it's on you now.
I want to say hello, thanks. I want to, first of all, start out by saying how humbled and how blessed and privileged I feel to have this opportunity in front of me. Mr. Kroenke is one of the most respected owners in all of professional sports, and to have the opportunity to work for him.
Oh, we're talking about my dad.
To work for him and to work with Josh, as well as with Tim. And as Tim just said, we all kind of known each other from afar without really knowing each other. Have a lot of friends in common, people that we worked with in common, and as much as they were interviewing me, I was interviewing them as well. I've been fortunate to be around great players from the time that I entered into the NBA in 1988, all the way through to when I retired as a player in 2003, and the guys that I've been able to work for and be around, from the Red Auerbachs to the Larry Birds and Jerry Wests, even announcers like Chick Hearn and Johnny Most. I feel that I've been prepared by the best of the best for a long time. Been looking forward to this opportunity, and have been able to be in a position to kind of, sit back, and not necessarily sit back, because it's been a grueling, grinding process, and I'm a lot more relaxed than I was this time yesterday. But just looking forward to to coming here and working with these guys and trying to lead this team to where I think we can take it. For me, from the beginning of the time that I came in the league to the end, the organizations that I've been with, it's been championship or bust, basically. That's the kind of pressure that's been associated with the teams that I've been with. And so I love this roster. I think it's young, it's fresh, energetic. There's some, I have a lot of respect for Coach Carl and what he's been able to accomplish throughout his career. I'm not, trying to come here and fill his shoes. I want to build on what the good things that he was able to do with this team, and create, my own legacy and put my own stamp on things with the help of these guys. And so, I'm 47 years old. I still feel like I'm very young, although I'm, like I said, creeping up to 50. But I feel like I'm a young coach with an old soul, and I have these two gentlemen here who are young as well. And so I'm very excited about just the freshness of all of this, and all of us kind of going through this for the first time together.
Do you think you're, as a career role player, which you were, you're the guy that would go in and have his role. This is a team that has a lot of role players on it. Do you feel particularly qualified to deal with a team that has role players that need to know their position and what you need to get across to them when they get on the court and get their 20 minutes rather than 35 minutes a game?
I do, and the fact that, as you said, that was pretty much my position throughout my career. I feel that I can relate to role players in a unique way. And this team, you know, the team that I just left in Indiana was a true team. We didn't have a superstar player. We didn't have a go-to guy that you can just, you know, give the ball to and say, go get me a bucket. You know, so this team reminds me, this Denver Nuggets team reminds me of the team that I just left in Indiana. With that being said, it was a great feeling as a coach to have a real true team, you know, that you built trust and belief in one another. And, you know, quite frankly, from one night to the next, you didn't really know what you were going to get from one guy or the next because they were young. And with young players comes a lot of imperfections, a lot of, you know, there's a lack of life experience, a lack of playing experience. But one of the things that I pride myself on is actually getting out there, you know, putting in the sweat equity and being patient yet firm and developing young players. And so, you know, this team is full of young players with a lot of promise, and it'll be my job to get them to play to their full potential and to squeeze as much juice as I can out of the fruit.
This is for Josh and Tim. You guys interviewed a number of candidates. What, you know, how did he separate himself from the rest of them? What do you like about him?
Well, I think first thing is obviously the championship pedigree. Again, we were fortunate to talk to a lot of really bright basketball coaches who had varied and successful experiences. But Brian is, some of the names he mentioned are truly the legends of the game. I'm not sure there's another guy that can go from Red Auerbach stories to Paul George stories. So I think his overall experience, both as a player and as a coach, and being around some of the minds that we respect so much, that perhaps separated him from the pack.
Hey, Brian.
There was a lot of wonderful names that we interviewed, a lot of wonderful people, and that was one of the best parts of the process, I think, for both Tim and I, was that we realized that there's a lot of great basketball coaches in this world and around this league, and you know, to separate Brian from that group, it was tough, and that's no disrespect to Brian, because I think there's a lot of very good people that were out there. But for Brian in our current roster right now, I think that with what they've done in Indiana over the last several years was attractive to both Tim and I. From, you know, the Paul Georges of the world, the Lance Stephensons, the Roy Hibberts. I see some similarities there with guys on our team. And, you know, I see Quincy sitting over there. I think I see Costa in the back. You know, we have young guys that like to work and they're hungry to get better. And I think that Brian's going to help him try and see that through.
Brett, you've had a great playing career. You work with some great people. Why do you think it's taken so long to get this first job? And how frustrating was that when you've interviewed for so many times for this kind of position?
You know, at times it got frustrating, but, you know, also at the same time, I just looked at it as it allowed me more time to learn, to get better, to see a different way of doing things. You know, I think I got kind of typecasted as a triangle guy, and, you know, I played for 7 different teams and a ton of different coaches. My last 4 years in the league, you know, obviously I played for Phil Jackson, and I coached under him for a number of years. And so, you know, that system is unique, and I think that, you know, going forward in the job interview process, a lot of people just assumed that was something that I was married to, that I was going to try to bring with me wherever I went. And, you know, but, you know, it just came down to not really, you know, having anybody take a leap of faith and give me the opportunity. And, you know, so that's why I say I'm so humbled, and I feel so fortunate and blessed that Josh and Tim have given me that opportunity, and they've taken that leap of faith. And so, you know, going from coaching under Phil Jackson to coaching with and under Frank Vogel, I saw 2 different ways of doing things. You know, Phil was very unique in the way that he did things. Frank Vogel came from a video coordinator background, which he did things kind of more along the lines of how other teams around the league do things. So, you know, I get to kind of mix and blend both their way. I'm proud to say that I'm from the Phil Jackson tree. I'm proud to say that I'm from the Frank Vogel tree.